Hey everybody. Over this week, I've had some pretty harsh comments on some videos that I put out. They've since been taken down. I started talking to the chat, and they've since been taken down. But I thought it would be worth reading them out because they are definitely a concern, and I've seen them put on other stuff. But also by as a means to really seeing what it is. What are we talking about? What is this? So some of the comments that he put, this is just word games and sophistry. It's bullshit. um I feel bad for anyone who buys into your semantic games and pseudo mystical sophistry. Your arguments are just utterly vacuous. It appears to me that you're applying a belief thought system that you learned or adopted. I call it neo-advaita. Perhaps that seems unfair or judgmental, so be it. I am fed up with how facile it is. Blah, blah, blah. They're very dangerous, if not false or one-sided. Semantic games. Yeah, okay. So, vacuous, semantic games, spiritual sophistry. Is it? I mean, these it's it's sort of harsh to hear comments like that, but they do every comment really should be a pause for thought. And is there something in this? Is this just word games that we're doing here? And so, well, let's have a look at what actually is it. And he puts neo-advaita and he mentions non-dualism, but if we move away from any labels, because already the label has a ton of implications to it and means different things to different people, but if we consider what actually is it, well, it seems to me that what we're doing is directing the attention of, at one level, the intellect, the understanding, the conscious mind, but also the whole body mind system, the emotional capacity, the physicality, the entirety is being invited to look at what reality is, how the experience of reality comes about. So and within that total reality, so if we consider what we have as reality, it's from moment to moment, all the input to the senses and the subsequent experience of being alive, being an individual, being in a world that is separate, physically separate, objectively separate. And what we are looking at is what makes that up, what creates it, how real is it actually? And it seems to me that there is no other question that is more like literally fundamental. What is real? It doesn't get more fundamental. It doesn't get more important or far reaching or transformational, because what we do start to realize, as all of the attention is directed to an open, genuine exploration of questions like, who am I? Who are they? What is real? What is true? What is the mind? What is thoughts? Where does behavior come from? What decides? What creates beliefs? These questions are the absolute heart of the experience of existing, aren't they? How can this be mind games? How can it be spiritual sophistry. It's the very nuts and bolts of the entirety of existence in this form. You know, we have like, I don't know how long, however long we get, maybe 90 plus if we're lucky years to reach the truth, to become so open, so intimate, so curious about life that anything that isn't true falls away, and all that remains is truth. And truth, as they say, sets us free. And what is not to love about that? What is not vital about that? Because the alternative is a life lived through the veil of unquestioned belief, through the dictate of conditioning and trauma and fear and insecurity and shame that has been handed down for generations, or which has been inflicted on that growing psyche. And that's the alternative, is an unconscious life, or a lifespan lived unconsciously, like a pinball going bash, bash, bash from side to side, lurching from one confusion to the next, and the stress and strain on the physical due to what the belief system is creating is enormous. And that's the chronic stress that we live in, until we stumble across some great video or something, and instead of putting some harsh comments, we think, oh, is there something here? Is there something that is resonating here? Is there something truthful? And actually, that like, if we have that sort of reaction that commentator had, that harsh need to push it away, like to diss all over it, you know, this is bullshit, this is nonsense. What is in that harsh reaction? You know, that's what, you know, the most visceral reactions we have against someone or something is showing in that moment there isn't safety to actually just consider if there is validity, if this has resonance or truthfulness. It's just push it away at all cost. So that's what we're doing. And I get the argument of spiritual bypass, absolutely. But which is why I think if this exploration of what's true has to go alongside an absolute accountability and presence to discomfort, and the using of discomfort as a sign that defenses are up, that something is being protected, that has nothing to do with physical survival, everything to do with a representation of what we are. And so there's a depth to this that means this isn't sophistry at all. It's the opposite. It's raw, visceral, in the body, basic. It's basic. There's nothing sophisticated about it. It's absolute basic essence of what is life, what is true, what am I, what are thoughts. It's the opposite of sophisticated sophistry. Yeah. So that's what we're doing here. And I'm grateful to that individual for posting what was his truth in that moment. All comments are ones to reflect on, this, especially as with teachers, therapists, parents, coaches, anything that makes us react. So if I had reacted against that, which I so easily could, like, oh, I'm blah blah blah, I do this and this and this, and like full on defense, like at war, it's just a sign of lack of capacity in that moment, isn't it? Which is innocent and fair enough, but it's where all wars begin, and if this is about anything, it's the ending of war, beginning here, beginning with the war against the body, or the war against thoughts, the war against emotions, war against experience. It's the end of all of that. And then for sure it has to be the end of the war against other people. Yeah. So thank you to that commentator, and thank you to all of you. So grateful that we're here together. Bye.